So in our previous video we went and we created this site structure. Now in this video we are going to go and create these pages. So you can see that in all there are 4 pages. So 2 pages inside HR, 1 page for uploading the resume and the other for the employee database, and the second one is in the accounts we have 2 pages, one for the voucher entry screen and the other one is for maintaining the account documents. So let's go and start creating these pages one by one. So there's our website. So let's go and first create the HR pages. That is 1 page for uploading resume and 1 page for the for the employee database. Now in order to create a page, again go to site actions and you can see that there is a new page menu over here. So click on the new page and let's give a name to this page. Let me say resumes. Okay, create. So this will go and create the resumes page. So there's our page created. Let's put something over here for now. For now we'll not put any functionality, we'll just first create the pages. Okay, so I'm going to just say here resumes page, or I'll say store resumes. Okay, so I'm going to just make it a bit bold and save and close. In the same way, let me now go and create the other page, that is for the employee database, where the HR can go and store the employee database. So I've said just save and close. Right, again let me go and site actions. On site actions, click on new page and let me say here employees and say create. Again this will go and create our employee page. That's the page. So I'll say store employee information. Again let me just go and put some nice fonts here, so that right, and again save and close. And this page should then get linked on my right. So now on the in the Quest HR, now let me just go back again. Let me just go and navigate at the top. So we have created 2 pages. One is for the employees database and the other one is our resumes. Now when I go to Quest HR, right, I currently don't see any link over here because we have not yet gone to the left menu bar and added the link. So what we'll do is first let's go to our pages, the 2 pages which we have created. So click on this page tab and you can see that there is a view all pages button over here. So just click on the view all pages and you should see all the pages currently what your site has. So you can see that we have recently created the employees page and the resumes page. Also there is some other pages like how to use the library, which are default pages created by SharePoint. So what I'll do for now is let me go and click on this employees page. So and let me take the employees page link and the resumes page link in the notepad, and then I will go and link those links onto my home page of the HR. So I've clicked on the employees link. So there's my employees page. So let me just take these links onto notepad so that we can then add them to the left navigation bar of the HR subsite. So that's the employees page. Also let me just go and navigate to the resumes page. So that's my resumes link. So let me put this on my notepad. Right now let's again go back to our Quest HR site and let's click on site actions, site settings, and let's go and edit the left navigation bar by clicking on this quick launch. I'm going to say okay, I need now 2 new navigation links over here which will actually be inside this home link. So the first one actually goes for uploading resume. So I'm going to do a Control C here, Control V. I'm going to say okay, this is for uploading resumes, or else resume management, looks better. Resume management. Say okay, and the other link is for the employees database. So I'm going to do a Control C and again say a new navigation link, and this one is for, I'll say search employees or store employees. I'll say employees database, right, and say okay. Right, now once we do that, what will happen is Now let me just go back quickly go back to my Quest HR homepage again, to my Quest HR subsite, I'll say. So what I should see over there is, you can see that I have the home link, then I have the resume management link, and also I have the employee database. So this is my resumes link, and this is my employees database link, right? So in this way, basically we have created now individual pages. We will see how to put the functionality. Currently, for now, just let's get our page structure done first. In the same way, let me go quickly back to my Quest IT collection and let me add 2 pages here again in the accounts. So let me go to Quest accounts here and let me create 2 new pages here. One is for the voucher entry screen, for the voucher data entry. I'm going to say voucher entry. This is for voucher entry. I'm going to say create this. Let's put some text here, enter vouchers, and let's make it bold. Let's make it 18. Okay, save and close. In the same way, let's make one more page which is for accounts document management. So again, let's say site action, create a new page. I'll say accounting documents, and let's click on create and upload accounting documents. Right. Just going to say okay, 18 bold, save and close. And let's go and link these 2 pages again back to our accounting homepage. So that's my accounting page stored. Now let me go back to my Quest accounts here, and let's go and add these 2. Oh, again I have not stored the URL, so let me go back to view pages, view all pages, and let's take the link of accounts as well as the voucher entry as well as the accounting documents. So let me click on accounting documents, copy this, let me put it in the notepad here, Control V. Let me go back here again, voucher entry. So again this page, copy this and Control V. Now let me go back to my Quest accounts and let's go and add these 2 links into the navigation left menu bar. So again, site settings. I'm just trying to do everything practically so that you don't forget all the menus, because sometimes the menus of SharePoint looks quite confusing, but they are not actually. Once you start getting used to it, it's very easy. So I'm going to say new navigation link here again. The first one is the voucher entry screen. I've still not put any functionality, please note that. So still we are in, we are still in the mode of creating the site structure and the pages. And I'm going to now go and create accounting documents. So navigation link. So this link will go for accounting documents. Say okay. Right. So you can see that on the accounting homepage we have a voucher entry screen link, and as well as we have the accounting documents link. So pretty much we are done with the structure and the pages. So if you just go and browse quickly to just check if everything is right. So from the home page I can go to Quest HR subsite or the Quest account subsite. From the Quest HR I have created 2 links. One is for the resume management and the other one is from the employee database. So if I click on resume management, I go to the store resumes, and if I click on the employees database, I go to this page of employees database. Okay, in the same way, if I see my accounts here, if I go back and see Quest accounts, I again have 2 pages here. One is for the voucher entry screen. Currently there is nothing over here in the voucher entry screen, so it is just enter vouchers, and the second one is a link which will help me to upload documents. So we are done with the accounting structure which we decided first. Now let's go ahead and start adding functionalities. Now as a developer, if I tell you to go and create the resume upload functionality, probably the first thing what you will do is you will go and create a table which will help you to store the resume data, right? So must be you will go and create columns and fields like candidates, and you'll probably create fields which will help you to store the documents, Word document, the resume document, etc. Right? In SharePoint, we don't actually go and create tables. In other words, we don't really go and interact with SQL Server to create tables. Rather, we go via the SharePoint portal and we create something called as list. And SharePoint internally stores this list into SQL Server. Right? So we don't have to worry on that. Finally, definitely the data gets stored into SQL Server, but we don't explicitly go and create a table structure. It's all done via SharePoint. So in order to create storage locations, or in order to create storage structure, we need to use list. So let's go ahead and create a simple list which will help us to store resumes into the SharePoint portal. So let's go to the Quest HR site. Now in this resume management, we would like to go and add a list which will help us to go and add resumes, right? So let's go to the resume management page. Let's click on edit page, and you can see that there is a small insert tab over here. Click on insert, and you can see that there is something called as a new list. So click on new list. Now you can see that there are various forms of list over here. For example, what kind of list is this? Is this just a calendar? Is this just a contacts board, where you want to just share contact information, a discussion board, a report library, what exactly it is? So currently we all know that when we say resumes, it's nothing but we want to store documents. So we're going to say document library, and we're going to name this list as resumes. Okay, and let's say okay. So there's a resume list which is added to the page. Let me go and do a save and close. So now if I browse to my resumes page, let me just go back to Quest HR, and now if I click on resume management, you can see that there is an add document link over here. So I can say add document, I can choose a file. Let's say that this is the resume which I want to upload. Say okay, and you can see that the resumes document, the document is added to the resumes list. Right? Now, out of curiosity, let's go and see what happens into SQL Server, because as I've already previously said that whatever you do over here gets stored into SQL Server. Now in SQL Server, you can see that there is a database here called as ws_content. So let's go over there. Let's expand the tables. So you can see that there are a lot of tables over here which internally SharePoint actually maintains. We never have to worry about this, but just for our understanding that yes, whatever SharePoint does actually gets stored into SQL Server, right? So over here, let's go. Now this one is a list, right? So let's go to the all list table. So let me just right click, and let's go into query. So that's the data. Okay, let's start resumes RRRR. Oh, none. Okay, there's a problem, I think. Okay, we are looking into the wrong database. For this site is created separately, right? We have created in a different web application altogether. So it will not get stored into the main SharePoint portal, but it will be one of these databases. Now to know that this site actually stores data into which of these database, let's go to our SharePoint Central Administration. So we were looking into the wrong database. Let's go to manage content database. Okay, so you can see that this one is 26507 port, which is nothing but our portal, right? And it is storing in WSS_content 72702, right? So let's go to 72702. Let's again go to all list. Let's do a select, and we should be able to find a resumes list over here, and you can see that there's the resumes. Yeah, just about it. Okay, so you can see that the time we created the list outside in SharePoint, it is actually making an entry into the WSS_content database. All right, now we have created the resume list. We added the same to our resumes page, and we are able to upload documents. But this resumes list is not looking proper. How about here putting up field called as candidate name, right? And then probably this one, I would like to just say resumes.doc. This field is not really the name field, right? It is actually pointing towards the towards the resumes, so I would like to go and configure and add some custom fields over here, like the candidate name must be the day on which he came to the interview, and then its resume. So how do we go and configure the list and add custom fields to the list? Let's see that now. So to configure this list, first let's go and delete any kind of data which this list has, just to make sure that we start from scratch. Now let's go and edit the page, select the list, and you can see that all the all the editors for the list gets enabled, like insert, documents, library, etc. Click on the library, and you can see that there is something here called as the library settings. Okay, so let's do OK. Now you have come to a page where you can go and customize this resumes list or the resumes library. Okay, so I'm going to say go and create a column, and we'll say okay, go and create a column called as candidate name. It's a single line text. This column will take candidate names. Requires that this column contains information. Yes. Unique? No, it's not necessary to be unique. And a maximum 50 characters. And just say okay. Right. Now let's go back to our resumes here. So you can see that there is a candidate name over here which is entered. Right. Now, so let's go and add document, choose file, upload it. Now you can see that basically it has popped up me saying that please enter the candidate's name here. So I'm going to say okay, this is a resume, or else a fresh candidate, must be fresher. Okay. And the candidate is must be Shiv Prasad Koirala, right, and say save. So that's the data added over here. Now we would like to again improvise on this list. Probably I don't want to see this modified and the modified bytes. It's making my list it's making my list cluttered here. So must be I would like to just get rid of this. So let's again go to library, and let's again go to library settings. You can see that there is something called as a view here. Okay, so let's click on the view, and we'll say that don't show us modified and modified by. Must be you can store inside, but don't externally show these fields on the portal. Now let's say okay. Now that's cool, so we have type, we have name, and we have the candidate name. Right. Now let's go to the next functionality, that is the employees database. So again, let's go and edit this page, and let's see which list. Now employees database means probably we would like to go and store employee information, like the first name, last name, and those things, right? So let's go and insert. Let's see that which list actually fits over here. New list. So you can see that there are a lot of types here, and the contacts list is most favorable here. Why? Because in contacts you will get the name of the person, the address, etc. So this structure of the contacts, or this type of the list, is more relevant. So I'm going to say here okay, this is the employees. Okay, and I'm going to say okay. Now the time I do this, you can see that basically it has popped up me a ready-made structure with last name, first name, company, business phone, home phone, email address, everything. So quite a ready-made structure over there, so we don't have to really work hard on this. In case you want to go and add anything custom, again select this list, go to this list options, go to list settings, and you can go and always add a new custom field over here. But currently I think this structure is more than enough, so let me just go just do a save over here. So we have completed two functionalities over here. One is we completed the resume management, where the HR person can go and upload resumes, and also we have created a nice we have used this we have created the employees list by using the contact list type. So let me just go and add some new items here. Nice, I can see that a lot of things over there. So I'm going to say Shiv Koirala, email shiv_koirala@yahoo.com, company www.questpond.com. Save. Right, so a very nice decent functionality for the HRs to maintain employee database and do resume management. Now let's go to our next subsite, Quest accounts, and here we would like to now start with this functionality, or let's start creating this functionality for entering vouchers. Now let's complicate the accounting functionality a bit. Now, as we said, in accounting functionality, we have two parts. One is, a screen where he can go and enter voucher numbers. He can go and enter description, and he can go and enter amount. And second is where he can go and upload accounting documents, right? Now, what we would like to do is, these accounting documents we would like to attach. Whenever we upload an accounting document, we would like to attach a voucher number and a description with it, right? So that whenever any document is uploaded, it would be easy to search. Now, what it means is that the first thing is, definitely for voucher number and voucher description, we have to create custom fields. Now you can see over here, we are going to reuse these fields again and again, right? So we have to create a custom field, but those custom fields we should be able to share across the site, right? So that's where we are going to create a custom field at site level and then reuse these custom fields. Okay, so let's go ahead, first create this custom field at the site level, and then we'll attach the custom fields to the relevant list. So let's first go and create two custom fields, that is voucher number and voucher description, at the site level so that we can reuse them. So first, ensure that you are on the site quest accounts, which I'm already there. Let's go to site actions. Let's go to site settings. You can see over here in the galleries there is something called as site columns. So let's click on site columns and let's click on create, and we'll say that, okay, first thing is I would like to create a custom field called as voucher number. Okay, and I'm going to say, okay, this is going to get added to the existing columns here, and I'll say this will help us to capture voucher numbers. Okay, required, yes, this column is required. And I also say that normally voucher numbers are unique, so I'll say yes, please enforce uniqueness over here, and I'll say maximum you can enter is 10 characters. This is not a calculated field. Okay, so I'm going to say okay. The column must be indexed. Yes, I'm going to index this column so that search is faster. So now if I go to my custom section here, so let's go custom columns, you can see that there is voucher number over here. In the same way, let me go and add a voucher description also. So I'm going to say here voucher description, and again, yes, this is a custom field. This is not unique, and yes, it's a required field, but it's not a unique field. And I'll say this will accept description of vouchers. Okay, and let's say okay. So we have created two custom fields now on the site level, voucher description and voucher number. Now both these fields, voucher description and voucher number, will be used in the voucher data entry screen as well as in the accounting document management system. Okay, so it would be great if we can club these two columns together and create a custom data type, so that we can just take that custom data type and attach to the list. And that's where exactly SharePoint provides something called as content. Content helps you to create a custom data type by using columns. So let's go ahead and create a content called as voucher, which will have these two custom columns, that is voucher description and voucher number. So in order to create a content type, let's go again to the site settings. You can see that there is something called as a site content type here. So let's go to the site content type. Let's click on create, and let's create a new content type called as voucher. Okay, so we'll say this content type, this custom type has description and voucher numbers. Okay, you can also see these small things provided by SharePoint, spell check. So yes, so I'm going to just do a description. Good. I like Microsoft for this small user friendly things. Okay, so I'm going to say, okay, this is a custom content type, so I'm going to just say special content type. Do we have custom here? No, we don't have. So let's put this into list content type, because I'm going to attach this with a list. And I will say that yes, this is at this moment I'll just say this is item. Okay, so let's make it as an item. So I'm just saying that, okay, use this list content type and create a new content type called as voucher, and add it to the existing group called as custom content types. Okay, I'm going to say okay. Now in this voucher content type, I will add existing site columns. So I'm going to go to add existing site columns, and let's go to our custom columns, and let's select voucher description and voucher number, and let's say okay. So now we have created a new content type called as voucher, which has voucher description and voucher number. Now let's take this content type and let's start using this content type in our accounting screens. Now let's go to the voucher entry screen. Let's edit this page. Let's go to insert. Let's go and add a new list, and we'll say that this is more of a custom list, okay, because we're going to put voucher numbers and voucher description here. So I'm going to say this is a voucher list, okay, and let's say okay. Now because I said this is a custom list, you can see that it had just put the title over here. So let's go and start editing this list. So I'm going to say list. Let's go to list settings, and in the list setting, now let's go and add a content type. Now in order to add a content type, you should ensure that this list allows management of content types. So if you're not enabling in the list this allow management of content types, you will not be able to use the content type. So I'm going to just say okay, yes, and now you can see that here we have a link here saying you can add existing site content types. I'm going to say add existing site content types, and we're going to go and add voucher and say okay. Now the time we do that, you can see that basically it has added voucher here, and you can see it has title, voucher description, voucher number, and modified by, etc., those default fields over here. Now we also need to add one more field here, the voucher amount. So let's create, now this column is not at the site level. Why? Because this is only applicable to this screen or to this list. So I'm going to say here voucher amount, and it's a number, and yes, it's a required column. There is no uniqueness, at least the minimum value, there's no minimum value as such. There is no maximum value as such, so probably I can leave these fields blank, and let's say okay. So there's our list with title, voucher amount, voucher description, voucher number. Now let's see how our list looks like. So let's go to the voucher entry screen. There's one more thing we need to do, is we need to display the fields over here, and also probably we'll get rid of this title field. This title field we don't need, at least for this enter voucher screen. So let's again go back here and let's click on this all items, and we'll say that okay, I don't need this title field. Yes, I want the voucher amount. Yes, I want the voucher description, and also I want the voucher number. I don't want any kind of attachments for now over here. And what I'll do is I'll say inline editing. I'll show you what exactly this inline editing means, but currently I'll just check this checkbox for now. So I'm going to say okay. So there's my voucher entry screen created. So the first field is the voucher amount. Now because this is right aligned, so that's why it's viewed in this way. We can correct this by clicking on the column properties and ensuring that it is left aligned. But for now we'll just go and fill the data. So I'm going to say okay, 100 voucher description, bought, let's say bought shirts, voucher number V001, and save. So easy. 200 bought socks, V002. Right. So nice screen, where the accountant can go and enter voucher number, voucher descriptions, and the voucher amount. Now for the accounting documents. So let's click on the accounting documents. Again, let's go and edit the page. Over here also we would like to create a list, and in this list we would again like to go and attach the voucher content type, and we would like to also upload voucher documents, which can be probably invoice PDFs, or must be scanned copy of receipts or whatever it is. Okay, so let's go to insert here. Let's again go to new list. Now we'd like to go and add a document library here. So we're going to say here voucher documents. Okay, say okay. Now there's our voucher document list. So let's go to the library. Let's go and attach the voucher content type. So always remember that you have to allow management of content types, or else you won't be able to attach. and add existing content type. Let's say vouchers. Okay, and you can see that there is title, voucher description, voucher number. Also, let's ensure that everything should be displayed. So the name of the document, I'm not really interested. Modified by modified, those things I'm not interested, but I'm interested in voucher number, voucher description, and probably the icon of the document stating, you know, that this is the document. Also, let's keep allow inline editing. Let's not keep allow inline editing for now. Let's say okay. So there we are. Now if you say add document, choose, let's say this is some kind of accounting document, say okay. Now I can go and fill voucher details of this, saying okay, with this accounting document, say that this is voucher 1001, description, this is for purchase of something, right? And voucher number is V003, must be V004, and say save. So you can see that there is one accounting document being attached with a voucher description with a voucher number. Right, so we are almost done with the site. Now let's do a complete navigation end to end to see that if all the functionalities are working. So let's start from the top site. So if you go to Quest IT Collection, there's our portal. I can go to the Quest HR site. I can upload resumes here. You can see I can add a document and upload resumes, put in the candidate's name, and etc. etc. I can also go to the employees section and add employees. And my accountants can happily go and make voucher entries over here. So by adding new item, I can go and enter voucher numbers here, voucher descriptions, and also if I want to go and upload what you call voucher documents, I can always go and upload voucher documents and then attach the voucher number and the voucher description. So that's pretty much our site, you know, with the functionality which we discussed previously, you know, when we started this video, saying that we want to create a portal with Quest HR, with Quest accounts, and the HR guy should be able to upload resumes, and accounts guide should be able to upload or post voucher numbers and voucher description. So that was the complete video end to end, and we completed a portal with HR and the accounts section. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. In the next video, we will talk about permissions. Now what's happening is I'm logging in as administrator, so I can see everything, Quest HR, Quest accounts. But how about that I create some user IDs for HR and I create some user IDs for accountants, and they only see their own sections and their own subsites. So how do we do user policy or user right management in SharePoint? So that's what is my next video on. Thank you very much. I hope that you enjoyed this video.